dive into this. Questions, thoughts?
Sure is a lot to take in.
That did not sound like a question, but maybe I'm missing something.
I'm thinking that how does somebody use this in day-to-day business?
So, great question. So, individuals who are legacy partners, they may already own a company and they want another profit center, another revenue source. Individuals may be looking at starting a company. Individuals may be looking at selling a company. Individuals may be, it could be, any of those things. And so obviously all of those things are going to be unique and different. In engineered clarity, there's three components: people, business, and life. So it's people, business, and life. In the psychology of people, the new 7-week online course, Life Masteries Institute and Legacy Partners is a accumulation, a collaboration of all different types of people in all different age groups and all different ethnic groups and all different industries, all coming together with the belief that we can accomplish so much more together, than we ever could on our own. And so most people think they're hard workers. My guess is you hit Legacy Partners and you're going to find out, you're not nearly as hard of a worker as you think you are. Most people think, I'm pretty smart. You hit Legacy Partners, you're going to realize, wow. Most people think they're good parents, good spouses. Like everything we thought about ourselves in Legacy Partners is going to realize, we are in the dimension we're in. But it's crazy how much we need to know to be able to achieve our full potential. Other questions? Thoughts?
So it sounds like to me that you have to be really organized in order to be a legacy partner.
Yeah.
Would that be correct?
Big time. There's actually a white paper on that. There's, I think, over 100 white papers now. And so there's probably a white paper if you're struggling. It's interesting. One of our CPA clients, I was talking to one of their employees, and they said about another employee, they're like, my gracious, wow, she is not organized. I asked her later, I said, 1 to 10, how organized do you think you are? She said a 10. So most people think they're organized. And maybe because they have, not to be mean, of course, not to be uncaring, of course, but maybe they only have 1 or 2 things. If you only have 1 or 2 thoughts, it's not too hard to be organized. But when you start getting into the quantum world, let me tell you, it's crazy. It's just crazy. Other questions? Thoughts?
Mark, you've taken a lot of time and energy in personalities, understanding people's personalities. It seems that you focus a lot on that. Tell us why.
I was always trained, if you don't know me, just a little background. So I have 3 degrees in business, 1 in finance, 1 in management, 1 in marketing. Didn't do well in school, hated school. Love business, though. Ever since I was a little boy, as you get to know me in some of the backstage areas, you'll be like, really? Like sold Christmas trees as a kid. And, the things I just have always known I was going to be. I just love business. I just love it. And so, my dad and mom, my dad was a pastor, so I was raised very conservative, Baptist, very conservative, like crazy conservative, never went to movies, never played cards. I mean, some really very, very conservative things. So it was like I was always kind of taught, treat other people, the golden rule, treat other people the way you want to be treated. When I hit business, I'm 23. Imagine being 23 years old. I was married when I was 20. My wife was 19. We went through college together. We really grew up together, almost. I mean, like really. When I think back all those years, I'm 55 now. We've been married for 35 years. And so, I graduated, had, 7 job offers coming out of college, 6 job offers coming out of college. And the only job I knew I didn't want to, do was in sales, because I hated salespeople, never wanted to become one. But my wife and I felt that we were going to have a large family. We do. We have 7 kids now. And so I said I wanted a 2-income family. I felt we needed a 2-income family and 1 income, and so the only way I'm going to do that is to go into sales. And so I went into sales, got killed. I was just terrible at it. Made $1 an hour first 3 months. And it's like, my gracious, and I worked so hard. Well, I started building systems and then turned that all around, and then, 6 months, I was promoted to a regional manager, but still doing straight commission sales. 6 months after that, marketing manager, and then a year and a half after that, offered a VP of sales with equity position company. Nancy, when I started managing people, I treated people the way I wanted to be treated, because that's the golden rule. What I found out really quick is that people don't want to be treated the way I do. Like if somebody hates me, I just want them to say, hey, I hate your guts, Mark. If somebody thinks I'm stupid, it's like, well, just tell me. Just say, hey, Mark, I think you're stupid. Like I just want people to be really honest with me. Like if the truth hurts, it was meant to hurt. It's okay. And so I'm treating people the way I want to be treated, and it's not working. So imagine being 24, 25 years old, little one at home, managing people, and it's not going well. Like it's not going well. Like it's not working. And I got a lot of responsibilities. Still not out of the woods totally financially. I could sense that I'm in trouble, like I'm missing something. And I was introduced to, kind of the foundation, the conception, the birthing of personality masteries. And all of a sudden it hit me, and I'm like, oh my gracious, people don't want to be treated the way I want to be treated. And it just transformed my life. The first 2 years, Nancy, that my wife and I were married, just brutal. So I'm a driver analytic. My wife is an amiable analytic with some sprinkling of expressive, but mostly amiable, double amiable, strong analytic. First 2 years of marriage were just terrible. Just terrible. It was unbelievable. If we didn't believe in relationships for life and honoring our vows, we'd have gotten divorced. I mean, it was just brutal. Was not what I was hoping for, was not what she was hoping for. When I was introduced to Personality Masters, I'm like, oh my gracious! Like, wow! Like, oh my gracious! Like, it was a map for me, Nancy. And so it helped me to understand people are different, and what gives one person pleasure gives another person pain. What motivates one person doesn't motivate another. What people think motivates them doesn't. It just opened a world to me, Nancy, at 23, 24, 25, something like that. In those 23 to 25, it opened a world. It created an awakening for me. I'm like, oh my gracious, So people laugh when they hear that I've been diagnosed with social autism. They're like, whatever. But, they weren't me, 23, 24, 25, struggling to understand why people are stupid and then why they get upset about being told they're stupid. Like, I honestly don't understand why somebody that. Anyways, so it saved my marriage. It went ahead and helped me in business. I would not be in business today, Nancy, without it. With the 7 kids, you know, it's just like everything in life is connected to people. And for me, if I didn't understand this, I would probably have no friends, not married. I would be, I don't know. My life would be a total mess. Does that help, Nancy, or not so much?
So, Mark, yes, that's good. So, Mark, so how did you discover that? Now, you said you discovered it because you were trying to, put bread on the table for your family, your responsibility. People weren't moving. Was there a mentor in your life that said, hey, Mark, or is it something that you just had a vision, or just through your experience you discovered, hey, these people aren't responding?
Yeah, good question. So going back to when I was 8 years old, I was at Camp Fairwood in Wisconsin. I jokingly say, the way I was raised, God's never spoken to me in a vision or, a dream or anything. And so I don't know, but I was 8 years old. I remember it. I was out at night at the canteen, and I'm eating something, and I don't know. God just said, I don't know, somehow he's like, Mark, you're an average to below average kid. So at the age of 8, I had an awareness that I was not like the other kids. I wasn't smart. Like I was below average. I knew that I was a below average person at the age of 8. So, I don't know, God said, hey, you're a below average person, Mark, but if you are a good steward with what I give you, you'll impact the entire world. So I knew that at 8, and so it's like, okay. And so, I'm 23, 24, 25. I'm struggling. And Sue Warner with PMI, private mortgage insurance company. I was in the mortgage industry, and she couldn't get in to our company because the other MI companies knew the president and the operations people, and he was a real expressive personality. He'd take them out golfing, and he'd buy gifts and all this stuff. She couldn't crack the code. Well, I'm just this new kid out of college, but I am the sales manager, and I am building a sales force. And she went ahead and said, hey, Mark, I was just curious, if I brought some training into the sales force, would you go ahead and, would you want that? I'm like, yeah, I'm desperate. Like, I can't figure it out. And I'm sitting in one of the training sessions, and she does a bunch of training, but one of the things was on personalities. Now, with my bachelor's degrees, I have 3. I have finance, management, marketing. In the management degree, I was exposed some to personality testing, but it wasn't, whatever. It didn't really impact me. But when she did it, I'm like, wait a minute. But the challenge was that it was like, 50 questions or something, which was fine because it's in training. And I started to see how there were patterns in people. And I'm like, wait a minute, there's patterns. Like, oh my gracious. So I'm like, but these 50 questions aren't going to work with my sales force. And it was a brand new sales force, no experience in sales, no experience in the industry. I had to bring them up from nothing. Like they had no experience at all in anything. So I had to get them ramped up. And I'm like, they're not going to be able to do it. So I started out on a journey to figure out how to identify somebody's personality quicker, and tried literally hundreds of different ways. And, finally discovered we did colors, we did animals, we did, shapes, we did paint, we did a whole bunch. So we did, elements of the universe, earth, wind, fire, and rain. So, we tried like all different types of things. And it seemed like with children that they were attracted to certain shapes. And I'm like, I wonder, so we started doing some testing on a whole bunch of different shapes, and came up with, the cube, the pyramid, the wavy line, and the ball, and then started connecting all of these different things. So it's been going on, Nancy, for about, 35, 36 years. And so now we've got it down into such a science that based on how somebody says hello, you can identify their personality. Once you identify somebody's personality, you know their strengths, weaknesses, what they like, what they don't, turns them on, turns them off, if they're married, who they're married to, conflict of marriage, what to say, when to say it, how to say it. You know more about that person in seconds than they know about themselves, which builds trust very quickly. And it gives you tremendous insight into how they think differently than you think. And we tend to like other people that are like us, and we tend to fall in love with people who are opposite of us. And so the people I don't like are the people that I need the most in my life. And so, I don't know, it was like the Holy Grail, you know, the DNA for people, which is what it's called. And so, it's like, if I'm, like I can figure out how to bring value to anybody on the planet. And when a relationship or a situation blows up, Nancy, like I can go ahead and reverse engineer it based on my personality, their personality, and I can almost always get to the core of why it happened. Working for the last 25 plus years to figure out how to prevent things from blowing up, you know me, you know, so it's not been an easy journey, but it's been one that's very rewarding because it's, I don't know, it's just really cool. Does that help or not so much, Nancy?
Yeah, it helps. So, Mark, tying it back to EC2, so the personalities, that's part of it, right? The EC2 is understanding your own personality so that you can kind of work on anything in your life. But for this is if we just talk about the EC2.
Right. So the EC2 is about people, business, and life. So business is not owning a business, it's economic engine. So it could be working for a nonprofit, it can be a job, it can be anything. So everybody has to have some economic engine. So this is really, you know, it could be replaced with engine, but I don't know, business. And so it's people and your economic engine and then your life, and how do you go ahead and achieve what you want to achieve in life through these three things. So there were things, Nancy, like Alan was saying the other day, it was really cool. He's like, we were talking about interns and with Nicole, and Alan said, well, people come in and they don't think they want to do something, and what they don't, this is the essence of what he was saying, what they don't understand is that they actually can really like it and or it's going to be really helpful to them in the future. And so people don't understand that. And so there's so much in life. And so EC2, like I wish I had it when I had 22 employees. Because I just let EC2 now do the development of people. Like if people don't understand how to take ownership, let EC2 explain it to them. It does a lot better job than I can. If people don't understand work ethic, if people don't understand, you know, how to care, if people don't, if people don't understand stuff, let EC2, you know, teach them to do it. Because they're not ready, you know, they're not ready to go ahead and work with me. My grandkids really inspired a lot. Like there's a Grandpa's Magic Couch section in EC2. And I've wanted to do that for years, but I didn't know how to transfer my life experiences. Like I wanted my mom and dad to do it. And so they both passed. And so I'm going back into their life to pull out stuff that I don't think I did so good in transferring some of their value system to my kids. And so Business Sense for Everyday Moms is in EC2. so it's so packed full with so much stuff. It's insane. And because, like, I want to pay Nancy for my 5 grandkids to go into it, but the rules are I can't. I can't pay for them. An employer can't pay for their employees. Nobody can pay for somebody else. So what I'm doing is I'm teaching my grandkids how to start their own company so they can make money, so they can pay their own way into EC2. So when people pay, like I know in this, like why didn't I think of this sooner? Like my parents didn't pay for my college education, I did, so I got a lot more out of it because I paid for it. Blood, sweat, and tears, cleaning toilets, people's houses, being a custodian. I did a lot of things to go ahead and earn money to pay for my education that were not pleasant, didn't like to do, so I got a lot out of my education. My parents didn't pay for my car. I had to pay for my car, so I treated my car better. And so, you know, if a lot of people, like, they don't pay for anything anymore. They don't pay for their college education. So they come into business never having invested into themselves at all. So what they do is they're entitled. They think they're entitled to make 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000. They think they're entitled to be paid for all their education because their parents did everything for them. They never had to do anything on their own. They're just entitled. So invest $20 back into yourself and see what happens. And so when people invest their own hard-earned money into something, all of a sudden something magical happens. Or it doesn't happen. Well, there's a good learning experience there too. Like, it's not the system, it's not the clubs. The golf clubs are not the issue. The system's not the issue. You're the issue. So if you're investing $20 a month and you're not getting value out of it, how pathetic must you be? Like, how hard is it to get $20 a month value? And then they start to realize, internalize, wow, I'm putting $20 a month in. I'm putting $20 a month into myself. My company, the owners of my company, they're putting $2, $3, $4, $5, $6+ thousand a month into me. Look at how much I expect out of $20 a month. I better step up and do more. Like this, just like that, for the first time in their life, they have empathy and care, maybe about money, because they've actually had to work hard for it and they have to invest it back in. I know you and Alan got to run. Anything else you have, Alan or Nancy?
No, thanks very much, Mark.
All right, thanks, everyone. Anyone else have anything else?
Nope.
Okay, so when you're going through this, again, just keep remembering, it's going to be hard. It's going to create synapses in your brain that you've never had before. It's going to challenge you like you've never been challenged before. If you get overwhelmed, it's good. If it's bad overwhelm and you're like, this is so complicated, whatever you do, don't use drama. Because, last year was the year of drama for me. So anytime there's drama, I'm drawn to it like I want to join you in your drama. So anytime, if you get bad overwhelm, it's really simple. DNA for people, DNA for business, DNA for life. Like, it's simple. So don't make things complex that are simple. And don't try to make things simple that are complex. Well, this is easy. No, not so much. Well, this is really, really hard. No, it's not as hard as you think. Again, it's in the quantum world. So hopefully this first lesson has inspired you and motivated you, and you're like, oh my gracious, I can't wait to get in the next one for sure. And always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. God bless and have an amazing day. Bye-bye.